Look right here, two different architectures, huh? Pretty cool. There you go. Be right back. A little bit better view of Union Station on Canal. Canal's closed right now. So we're gonna head down Adams a little ways. Kind of tall down here. And pause here for a second at Raymond James Plaza. We're about to cross the Chicago River. There she is. Take a little look. What's going on? And here we are crossing the Chicago River on Canal Street. See what's happening up ahead here. Gotta be something. Of course, back in the day, these were all bridges that opened so that big ships could come down through here and do some commerce. We're gonna be looking at one of the largest commerce buildings in the world in a minute. Gee, maybe I should have called these guys. So you have the Schwab Center right here. Okay? A couple of other very tall edifici. But right here, in this opposing corner, used to be the tallest building in the world. This is the Sears Tower, now known as the Willis Tower. How do you like that? Second tallest skyscraper now here in Chicago is the Trump Tower. We'll be seeing that here in a minute. All right, right back. I like this little alley right here. Huh? Whoa. Grab you a lift bike right here at the Willis Tower. All right, I'm gonna get on here to the next street here. Right back. Okay, we're gonna cut off from Adams and take Franklin right straight down to the Riverwalk. That's right. Be there in a minute. Very nice, very clean down here. What a great walk. Right back. All kinds of stuff going on down here. Quite a sight here, looking straight up. Yeah, we keep looking straight down the street then. Of course, I'm going to miss a couple of these places telling you what they are as we go along here. We'll catch those in the next trip down here, or the flip-flop walking back. I'm going to take a different way, see if we can check out the Palmer House on the way back. A lot of banks have their headquarters down here. We're passing through a lot of them. Just about a block over is the Federal Reserve. We might have time to go past that a little later. I don't know if we will, but the next time I come here, which will be, I'm planning later in the month of July, we're gonna do nothing but walk around down here and look at this stuff. Today we have the boat trip we have to go on. Next time we won't have that. So we're not gonna get near the Riverwalk at all. A little bit, I'd like to walk the Millionaire Mile, the Majestic Mile. Starts down here at Michigan Avenue, where we're gonna get on the boat. Getting into Old Town. We're in the middle of the loop. Very cool. Hey, here we're at the corner of Franklin and Randolph. Really good architecture down here. About to see some more. Here's a little bit of the old right next door to a whole lot of the new, as well as behind it. all used to look like this down here one day. A little slice of the Chi-Town jumbo slices. Good representation here, the old fire escapes. Brand new skyrise behind. There's Chipotle on the corner right there, the L, elevated train line. Seen that in the Blues Brothers. It's where Jake and Elrod shacked up for a night until it kind of came tumbling down on them. Franklin and Lake Street. Wow. All right. Little bit of that green marble happening. Here's the entrance to one of their underground trams. We're not taking that today. Going straight over here and look at this building. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Okay. A little bit more video here. Up there they have the window cleaners hanging out on that boom over that skyscraper, cleaning the windows. And here we are, almost down here at the Chicago River, one of the bridges right here. We're at Wacker, Upper Wacker, made famous by the Blues Brothers. Comes the L. Talk about the monorail at Disney. This is the real monorail. This is the big boy monorail right there. This is the Mercantile Building. I'm going to talk about that as soon as we get over here. Okay, again, you skyscrapers here. The building you see straight ahead only sits on a base that's 20 feet wide. That big, huge skyscraper. I think we'll see that a little later here in the tour. Let's go over here and talk about this building a second. See all the iron, all the rivets. See the streets above our open grid. This used to open so the big ships could come through here. They put this little piece over our heads so nothing falls through from the old bridge. All right, this is quite a building right here. The Mercantile Exchange, the Mercantile Building. Okay? I'll be right back. All right, folks, this is the Chicago Mercantile Building. Okay, this was built back in 1930. It consists of 4 million square feet. At the time, it was the largest building in the world. Okay, Marshall Field. You can see the M, F, and so forth, the logos. This was Marshall Field's headquarters, where Marshall Field imported all of his wares and so forth to sell. Of course, it's a big department store here and all over. Okay, 1945, Marshall Field moved out, and Joseph Kennedy, President Kennedy's father, was the head of an organization, and they purchased this building, the Kennedys, for 1/3 its original cost. They held on to it until 1998, and the Kennedy family sold this building for an undisclosed amount of money. Some thought nearly $1 billion, but we do not know. Let's keep walking up here, some more history. See along here they have all this masked away from lower Wacker. Upper Wacker's up above. We're going to climb up there and walk on Upper Wacker in a minute. But they made this all nice. Lower Wacker's kind of seedy and strange. All right. Right back. Of course, the Chicago Mercantile Building now is many offices and so forth. Looking straight down the river. This is that. Pretty cool. Be out here in a minute. Some real history coming up. Okay, we don't have too far to go. These folks here are getting nice pictures out here. The sun today. And so are we. Take a little closer look at this ironwork, the design on that. A couple little party boats along here. You can ride along. They have bars in the middle of the boat. And so forth. There goes one of the water taxis. the water feature back here has like a little infinity thing happening. Well, folks, I'm standing here right underneath the LaSalle Street Bridge, and right up ahead is Clark Street, the Clark Street Bridge. Right on the other side here, a terrible, terrible catastrophe happened back in 1915, all the way back in 1915. Of course, this Riverwalk wasn't here, wasn't configured like this. This was the drawbridges, of course. But down here, there are big old buildings, docks and so forth, offloading cargo. Okay? Didn't look like this. So, right here, where we're standing, between Clark Street and behind me here at LaSalle, there was a boat that was docked, a large ship. It was the SS Eastland. It was commissioned to carry a large party. An insurance company here in Chicago was throwing for their employees. So down they came by the hundreds and boarded the Eastland. The Eastland had some problems. The Eastland was very narrow, a narrow ship, kind of tall, had problems with buoyancy. Okay, it was way overloaded. Hundreds and hundreds boarded this ship right here. As it docked right here, tied up against this area we're standing right here, it capsized. Capsized back on July the 24th of 1915. All those people on board, and it was amazing, the loss of life. I'll be right back. 844 lives were lost right here. They drowned in the Chicago River when the Eastland capsized. To this day, it is the largest loss of life, single loss of life on the Great Lakes, the most horrific accident that's happened here, the Great Lakes and waterways. Rest in peace. Be right back. That's quite a sightseeing boat right there. Some other stories about Clark Street as soon as we get up here. This whole area here where people are sitting, they put concerts out here. They pull barges right out here and tie them up with bands on them. There's the Britannica building, Rural Britannia. Britannica. Something like that. Okay, we're sitting here right underneath the Clark Street Bridge. Look at some kayakers. You take Clark Street straight ahead, forward to 2122 North Clark, just 2.5 miles straight ahead. Start looking on your left-hand side, and you will see a little park, a little residential area. You'll see a little park, and that park used to stand an expediting company from back in the day. In that building is where the St. Valentine's Day Massacre happened. Right down here in Clark Street, 2.5 miles away. A little look at the bridge abutment right here. Some of the old stonework here on the bridge. All right, something else I can tell you about Clark Street right here. Okay, take Clark down just about to where St. Valentine's Day Massacre happened. Go a little to the southwest, and you'll find the old Biograph movie theater and the little alley right there where John Dillinger was shot and killed. All right. And here you can see the shops and the cafeterias and stuff that they set in these little entrances of Lower Wacker along here. Okay, now we're walking along Wacker. Got up out of the Riverwalk. Take a look down here. Of course, We have about a half hour to get to where we need to get. I think we can do it. There's the Marina Towers. The marina is underneath. Right there is the House of Blues. Straight ahead. The House of Blues, downtown Chicago. Trump Tower's next. Pretty cool spots all along here. Done up in old patinaed brass. Because it is. Been here a long time. This hasn't. 35 West Wacker. It's pretty new. Some of these down here aren't. They're doing a little maintenance down here on the State Street Bridge. You look right in there where you can pull your yacht. Okay? Go up and park your limos and your Lambos and then go on up. There you go. There was a famous movie that was filmed here where a car jumped right out of there. Landed down here in the Chicago River. I think we remember that movie. There's the Trump Tower. Wrigley beyond it. Boy, some nice deco down here. Boy, oh boy. Hey, here we go. This is all closed. I think everything else is open for business. Here's McCormick and Schmick's. We have down here. All right. There's the ghost sign of Morton's, the steakhouse. And it's right there. Except it's not a ghost sign. Walk right in there with $150 and you can get yourself a steak. Pretty cool, huh? Right across the street. Beautiful timepiece. Look at the patina here. Almost high noon. Where's Gary Cooper? Here's the Christian Scientist. Hell, here's a big bronze. George Washington in the middle, Robert Morris on the left, and Ham Solomon on the right. Okay. We'll be right back. I don't know who this gentleman is. His name is Irv Krupicent. I guess it's pronounced. It had something to do with us down here, I guess. Famous London House Hotel. Walking right down here. High noon on the top of the Wrigley building. Clock. This building was built in the early 1920s by Mr. Wrigley, the spearmint gum guy. He needed to have a place to house his business headquarters. So he built the Wrigley building right across the street from the Chicago Tribune. Be right back. Right down here is where we board the boat. It's Wendella Boat Tours. Okay, folks, way back in the day, before Wrigley hit high noon, or the Chicago Tribune was even thought of, none of these buildings were here, not a one of them. Over here on this whole corner, you see the London House. Here's this front door of the London House. Right here on Wacker. This whole block, going all the way around. This was Fort Dearborn. Yep, it was a fort. Long gone, long been razed. London House sits there now. Let's see what it says about it up here. Okay, we're looking southbound down Michigan Avenue. Look at the Griffin in the front of the London House. This right here, Wacker in Michigan, is the beginning of a magnificent mile. Starts right here, crosses over the bridge over Chicago River, shows the Battle of Fort Dearborn back in the day. The other side as well. Right back. See right here on the street, they have the corners of the building all logged out in brass. The site of Fort Dearborn. Right here. All right. From here forward, you're on the Magnificent Mile. Everybody is here. You name it. You want a Rolex, you want a whatever. It's down here. Kind of like in Hollywood, but many more shops open and a lot more people and less homeless and a lot more vitality. Got a piece of gum or a newspaper. Okay, at this point, I'm going to call this one a finished part one. We'll pick up the tour here in a bit. You can see the tippy tops of the very famous John Hancock building straight ahead. What a great way to start the beginning of the Magnificent Mile, but with some chocolate. Ghirardelli, front door, 400 Michigan Avenue. The Loop, downtown Chi-Town. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Please hit that notification bell, thumbs up button. Remember to subscribe. See you in the next one.